Okay, I've got a little sample data set here for you guys that I'm going to use to introduce a couple functions that can be very handy for people that use spreadsheets. They are match and function, or sorry, match and index functions, and often they can be used in conjunction with each other, and I'm going to show you that. First, we'll just go through each one and show you what each one does, and then I'll show you how you can use them together. Okay, so above you can see that I have a table of data. We've got column headers, row headers, and basically this is sales data. It's supposed to kind of simulate different people in a company and maybe total sales rounded to the nearest $100 that they've made each month. Okay, and so maybe we want to come up here and grab some information out of this data set. Okay, well, first off, let me just help you understand what they do. So the match function is going to basically look up a value in a row or a column in basically a kind of a line of data. So it would be a row or a column. It's going to look up a value in a section like this, and it's going to return the order it was in that list. Okay, so if we reference, how about the months across the top, and I didn't do the whole year, but January through June, and I ask it to find March in the list, it should tell me that March is the third value. Okay, so I'm going to just add a little um, header there of what I'm looking for, and I'm going to put in March, and then we'll write our formula right here. I'm going to unbold that. Insert a new row here. Okay, so March, I'm going to say equal match. And the syntax here for the match formula is that we need a lookup value. What value are we going to look up? I'm going to look up whatever is in this cell, so we'll be able to change it from March to April or May, whatever, if we want. Okay, so we're going to look up that value, comma. The next thing it looks for is the lookup array, and that is the row of data that we're going to look in. So it's going to be this row right here, comma, and then a match type. You have different choices, and we're going to use the exact match. So the code for that is just a 0. Close that, hit enter, and there you see I got a 3. And that's because it was the third value. If I change this, let's say to April, it becomes 4. If I go to June, it should become what? 6. Okay, so that's what the match formula does. Let's do one more. We could also do like um, a rep. Let's say Olivia. So I could do equal match lookup value. I want to look up Olivia, comma. The lookup array is of all the reps, comma, match type, an exact match. Go find Olivia in that list. Where is she? And she is the 4th one. Okay. So that's just real quick the match function. What is the index function? The index function, think of like in algebra class, graphing ordered pairs or reading ordered pairs, x's and y's. The index function is going to come into a table, and if we can list out like a row and a column, okay, it will read for us the value in that. Okay, let's just type in the function name index. All right, parenthesis, and then you can see what Excel is looking for. So it's looking for an array, which is just a fancy word for a table. And then you see the comma. Then it wants a row number, and then a column number. Okay, so this is going to be my array, this table of sales data. And if I now list a row and a column number, so let's say Sarah is in, this would be the second row. Rows are going across. So John is row 1, Sarah's row 2, Mike's row 3. Say I want Sarah's figures from April. I would want row 2, column 4. So I'm going to type 2 for the row number, comma, and then the column number is 4. Hit enter, and this should be second row, Sarah, fourth column of the table, April. And there you go, that's it. Okay, so how do we use these together? All right, index and match used in combination. All right, so let's list a month and a rep. And so we'll have, we can start with that one, I guess, because we know what the answer is. So, or how about we do rep and month, just because of, we want to name a row first. So let's go ahead and start with Sarah and April, because that's what we just found. All right, so right here in this cell to the right, you're going to have a formula that returns the value in the table that lines up with the rep that's named here and the month that's named here. So equal index, the array is the table. Okay, so now instead of typing in manually the row number and the column number, we want it to be a formula that's variable based on these cells' contents, so that if we just change these cells, our returned value will update automatically. If you change from Sarah to Mike, we'll get the new value. Instead of getting Sarah's 5,600, we would get Mike's 7,400. So what row do we want to be in? Well, it's whatever rep is here, right? John's the first rep, Sarah's the second rep, etc. And if we can get the number of the order of something if we use the match. So, comma, instead of typing in a row number, we're going to use a formula here, the match formula. So I'm going to type in match, so we can actually nest a formula inside another formula. And what are we going to look up? So now match is saying you need to look up that. We're going to look up Sarah, or whatever the rep is. Comma, we need your lookup array. It's the list of all the reps. Comma, what type of match do you want? I want an exact match. 0. Close the parenthesis, and that closes the match formula. I'm still inside, since I haven't put a comma, I'm still within that comma of the index, where index wanted the array and the row number. This match represents the row number. So I'm done with that, so I'm ready to hit a comma, and you'll notice that instead of row number being bold, the column number will bold, because I'm switching from now where I'm entering row to column. So use a comma, and now I'm ready to type in something to represent my column number. Okay, notice that's kind of highlighted or bold now. So my column number, what column do I want to be in? The first column, the second column, the third column, the fourth column? Well, April's in the fourth column, so I could type a 4, right? But again, I want to use a formula that will change if I change the month that's here. So I'm going to change, maybe from April to May, and I want the result value to update automatically. So we're not going to just type in a 4. We're going to use match again. So we're going to look up whatever month has been named here. So the lookup value is the month. The array to go look for it in is now a row of all the months. Okay. Comma, the match type I want is 0. So when I close that parenthesis, I'm closing the match formula. And then that match formula was used to name the column that I want. And that's actually the last thing I needed for the index formula. So now I'm ready to close the index formula with a parenthesis. So I end up with 2 parentheses right next to each other. To close, one closes this match, the other closes the index. Okay, hit enter. And you've got 5,600, which was right here. 5,600 for April and Sarah. So let's try changing April to May. Nope. Or try changing from Sarah to Jennifer. Or to Brad. Okay, so that's a pretty cool trick that people use in Excel. A similar function, it has some pros and cons that people use, that if you would like to go try to Google and see if you still have 5 or 10 minutes in class and you want to look up and see if you can figure out how to use this one. A lot of people use a formula called VLOOKUP. Okay, so you can go look for VLOOKUP. They also use it should be HLOOKUP too, but VLOOKUP seems to be used way more because of just the way data is usually stored. But you could go Google those and see if you can figure out how to use them, even just in this table right here. Good luck.